Hello, this is a completely unscripted video, and I'm kind of nervous about making it. But anyway, my name is Boris, and this is a submission for any of the future marathons that I'll be submitting it to. This is specifically Saints Row the Third, any percent no DLCs, released in 2011. This is what people referring to as GTA clone, but it's a good GTA clone, trust me. This run is kind of slow paced at the start, but the more time comes, it'll be more fast paced, I guess. And also, while I was thinking about making this video, I decided to turn this video into a double feature, so I can hit two birds with one stone. Not only this is gonna be a marathon submission video, this is also gonna be a tutorial speedrun, kind of, in a way. So anyway, let's begin. Every time you start a game, you need to restart your game because the things from your previous save might leak into your new game. The game starts with skipping a few cutscenes. The timing starts as soon as the character gains control. We're getting rid of all of those guards really quick. The first major thing in Saints Row 3 speedrun is that we need money. We need a lot of money for player upgrades, single car upgrade, and weapon upgrade. So even though in this current 80% route we take a collectible right before entering the gun store that gives you $1,000, it's still worth getting some dollars from those civilians, NPCs, and because sometimes you can be just $1 short and you just can't get it anywhere, and this is gonna be really bad for your runs. At worst you can get like 50, at best you can get 200. Most of the combat in this game comes down to run and gun mechanic. Planting the bomb here. Skip another cutscene. Also, I forgot to mention that this game kind of uses the Vice City tactic. If you ever played GTA Vice City speedruns, is that instead of just holding your sprint button, you should hold shift. Spamming shift, so that way you have double the stamina. Also here you can jump during the flashbang voice lines to skip the dizzy animation. This is just a tower defense for like 2 minutes, so I can tell some other things I need to be saying. I'm kind of confused what I'm supposed to say here. Here comes the boss helicopter. The thing is, you need to shoot the helicopter even when it doesn't have the health bar, because when the helicopter doesn't have the health bar or you achieved certain threshold, it still takes damage, but with really huge damage reduction. So at the end, you can still kill the helicopter faster if you just keep shooting it. Just never stop shooting the helicopter. Killing those guys isn't really necessary. Also, I should mention that this is not a world record run, this is just my PB as of the current recording of this. Today is March 18, and this run was done on January 18, so it's 2 months exactly. The current world record is by Hoxie, which is 3 hours 70 something minutes. it's important to destroy this helicopter first, so the next phase of boss helicopter, I'm just gonna call it like that, appears. As soon as it despawns, this helicopter spawns. And even though it doesn't take the damage right now, you still need to shoot it, so you can kill it faster then. This here is just a waiting game, because no matter what you do, it's pointless. You just need to wait for helicopter to appear again, and it's on a timer here. And depending on how much hits you got on a helicopter, this is where most of the time you'll be saving. And that's first mission done. It doesn't really matter which character you choose here. Skipping some cutscenes again. Here, this is important to not have Shaundi really like punch some of the guys, because she will do like this really long, yeah, that's the animation, really long takedown animation, and it takes some time. Here I kind of messed it up, and I was supposed to skip the stun animation with the roll. This is what we call a plane zip. If you just go to the railing and stand near to it and just jump and move forward, the plane will just throw you out. But if you actually manage to hit a dude that was standing next to a crate, you can make a full gate zip, because jumping on his head makes you bounce and you will go straight to the plane and straight to the cutscene. Also, this was the first quick time event in this game. Quick time events are not really like in other games, I guess, because you need to really spam the button to make it work. Quickly taking care of those guys, and now the skydiving. Hitting some of those crates or cars isn't really bad. It loses you like nothing. It just makes your health drain. But since we're playing on a casual difficulty, it's really not that much of a problem. Windshield, cutscene, and now we have to take care of those old guys. Losing shots here is really scary here. I mean, losing shots here is really scary, because if you lose at least one shot, it takes away 2 bullets from you at once. So, and you really need to conserve your ammo. Not because you have limited ammo, but because the reload animation is really long. Another cutscene. Skipping all of those prompts. The thing about this loading screen is that you can kind of make your character move inside of it, but it's not really consistent. There are some loading screens that act like this. Instead of taking the objective and going to steal a car, we're gonna take other car, which is way faster. Cars here are random, but I got lucky and I got Sorine. There's like 3 tiers of fast cars. Like 3 tiers of the fastest cars. The worst you can get is Torch, Sovereign, Raycaster, or Peacekeeper, or Peacemaker, I don't remember the name. The second is Temptress and Vortex, and the first tier is Atrazan. Here we go behind those buildings. Bounce in here is really bad because sometimes you can really flip your car over. This is the collectible that I was talking about earlier. It gives you $1,000. In Act 1 we try to collect as many collectibles as possible just to have some additional money. In the gun store, you need to buy Pistol Upgrade 1. Ammo grenades and pistol ammo, and then we can exit.
Where's this armory?
Not far, it's on the GPS.
Oh yeah, when you try to enter a car with the Hadouken animation, which is basically holding your sprint button and the enter car button, sometimes it can just grab the human shields, which is really a bad thing.
Alright, the guns should all be in that warehouse.
Great. How are we moving?
Maybe you should have thought about that before attacking an armory.
Yeah. Seriously, how are we gonna do it?
Don't worry, Pierce has that covered.
Guess they're not letting us
Back
in.
into the armory, and now we have to really take care of those guys. Since this is a casual difficulty, all enemies mostly die from one headshot.
Jeez, look at the size of that thing. Bet that's a hell of a way to
It's important to kill this guy first because
I'll take it with
he will move in such a position that it will be almost impossible to shoot it from the ground level, so you have to take the stairs.
Here's the weapons cache.
Triggering the checkpoint, and this is just a waiting time, but we're not gonna waste any time here.
says that.
We're gonna go outside, gonna go behind, and we need to make it to this tower. I think it's on the, yeah, it's third floor, and we need to pick up another collectible. Sometimes Shaundy can teleport you to you, but if she doesn't, it's not really big much of a deal, you just still need to wait. And here you can just wait for Pierce to arrive.
This really seemed like a better idea earlier on.
You think? Pierce, where are you?
You know me.
Skipping this cutscene, and while the game is loading, you can still move towards it. So you move forward and a little bit on the left to grab the UAV. Exit the UAV and go outside. And now we need to destroy 3 sets of cars. And now 3 sets of tanks. Oh wait, that's actually 4 sets of tanks. And I would just run to the helicopter. Even though the game tells you to destroy all of those cars, you don't really need to. And this is just another autoscroller part where you need to shoot down helicopters. As you can see, sometimes you can get the aircraft kill bonus that gives you $100. It's a really not consistent thing since it can just not give you the $100. So it's really weird how the game considers it's an aircraft kill. This one wasn't considered as the aircraft kill, so I won't getting my $100. It's really weird. You can actually bail out of this helicopter just for funds, as I do here, but it doesn't change really anything. And this is the third mission done. And this is where the real open world game begins. In order to unlock some missions, you need to do some side activities that people will tell you by calling them, but that also triggers some cutscenes, so we're not gonna do that. We're just gonna go straight directly to the activity. And here I'm getting lucky with a car. This is Vortex, the second tier kind of a car. I guess it's really good time to explain how the speed system works in this game. Oh, I actually make it to the water, so I'm not really lucky. Never mind. But anyway, the speed system works as follows. There's some speed system in this game, and it caps at 100. Well, let's just say kilometers per hour. The tier 3 cars that are mentioned earlier, which is Torch, Raycaster, Sovereign, Peacemaker, they have 80. You can upgrade them with nitros, and when your nitros are active, it will just boost your speed by 10. So, for example, I have a Torch here. Torch is 80, and when I turn on the nitros, it will be 90 for like 5 seconds. But you can spam nitros, so basically you have a car that has 90. Vortex and Temptress have 90 speed, and by activating nitros you have 100 speed, which is the cap. And Atrazone just has 100 speed at base, so you don't really need to upgrade with nitros because the car will be just more uncontrollable, but you won't be getting any speed. So this is why getting Atrazone is like a god car. This is Professor Genki side activity. You just run and gun, avoid some traps. You need to make to the final room before the commentator says cha-ching. Because if you won't get to before getting to that line, you will just wasting time. That is the most fastest way you can complete it. Oh, here I get stuck on a trap. but still made it to the cha-ching line, and you can just go back and get some more money. Now I'm gonna still try to look for a better car because I don't really like having torch here. I don't think I actually find a car here. Yeah, I don't. So I'll have to continue this mission with the torch. This is the last mission you can find a car to, because this is the mission where you go to the workshop to upgrade your car. Whenever you upgrade your car, it saves in your garage forever. So it's best to just have the better car here. Go into a workshop, upgrade nitros, and exit. Before we used to upgrade torque, which is supposed to boost your car speed or the way it accelerates, but by breaking down the code we figured out that it actually does nothing at all. The feature is just broken, so we're not upgrading it anymore. Here are characters, which is the leader of the Saints, the boss, and Pierce try to listen to a song on the radio, and the way that developers give you GPS route is that they can sing the full song, but instead of doing that, we're just gonna go straight left and make it to the closed door. Park the car, enter the store, and buy any random thing you like. So mostly it's like glasses or hats. Throw a grenade up to this brute. One grenade, two grenade, brute dead. Here I actually, by doing some things, I figured out how to make NPCs jump into your car with the Badookan animation, which is the fastest animation you can get. You need to go backwards from them in your car as they approach you, and they will jump into your car. This is really consistent. Because sometimes characters can just fall off or not enter your car at all, but this is really a good thing. I actually found out this like 5 minutes by trying to find this. Here I get a really lucky car spawn, which is the Atrazone. This is the fastest car in the game. I shoot the driver, go inside the crib, and now the mission is over. And before this car despawns, I really need to go and get it. And it's still there.
Hope this thing has some speed.
This thing does have some speed.
For those who work in retail.
And I would just save it in our garage. I entered the garage to delete my torch, so it won't be in the list. And now I just take Hydrozone and I go to the next activity, which is the Tank Mayhem. By doing near misses and going on oncoming lane, you can earn some additional respect and money. Mostly you need respect to unlock upgrades for the player. In Tank Mayhem and Mayhem activities in general, you just need to shoot down fences don't try to shoot down the enemies that the game tells you to, because they basically give you no money as much as the fences and post boxes will do to you. One shot is like 10k. And that's it. You just need to get to the money and make sure to not hit anything, so the combo meter will just reset. And that's staying down. Next on the list, we need to buy this building that will be later required in a mission. The mission will tell you to buy this building, but since we bought it right now, it won't require to buy this building. Then we buy the ability to request cars, and we request our car. Oh yeah, this is... I remember this. This is a really annoying thing with ragdolls in this game. It can just get stuck and flip your car. So that was a really big time loss for me. So I had to use the torch, and without the nitros, so that was really slow.
I'm game. What's the plan?
The Saints will be downstairs until you can unlock the elevator for them to come up.
Wait. If I can't go up, then how will I... Oh. Right, penthouses.
That's right. Meet me at the airport.
For this part, I completely muted my game in the OBS because this mission has the song by Kanye West, "The Power," and if you have it in your Twitch VOD or your YouTube video, it will completely copyright strike it. So on marathons or just in other instances, I'll be just muting the game music into the settings by, but not disabling it here. This was just an offline run, so I decided to do it that way to not lose any time. Also, yeah, you can yeet completely into the pool, so you don't need to open up your parachute. Destroy those barrels with grenades. Unfortunately, here you sometimes can get stuck on a fire animation. And now we need to clear the house of the Morgenstein gang. As soon as the elevator spawns, throw one grenade. Oh, and also be sure to look at the explosions sometimes, because sometimes explosions won't render if you don't look at them. Helicopter guys spawn. As soon as they land, throw a grenade up on them. And now we just need to clear the room from the rest of them. It's important to be really fast here because you can get an elevator spawn here, and there'll be other 4 guys. If your character says something to Shaundi, that means that you can proceed to the next phase, which is grabbing the helicopter and tailing the other helicopter. this is a really important thing. You need to do the barnstorming bonus here. So you need to go really close to the chimneys. Because this here gives you, I think, oh yeah, 500 respect and also $6,000, which will be really useful for later to upgrade weapons. If you don't get the chimney thing, which is the barnstorming, it's really hard in the run. So at really low times, you really want to reset here because those 6k are really important. Jump out of the heli. If the guy runs too far, make sure to shoot him so he gets stun locked, and then you can just grab him. And then you need to kill him.
The Saints aren't going to back down.
And that's party time. The next mission, Guardian Angel starts right where you are, so just take it. This is basically a really big autoscroller about saving Pierce from the Attack at Wolfenstein gang. So I'm just gonna take some water here.
It'll be that simple?
Fuck no.
Didn't think so.
Just be ready when I come out.
Nothing to worry about, trust me.
Alright, I'm coming out now. Keep my ass covered till I can find somewhere to hide.
You got what we went in for?
Hell yeah. Shoot them already!
It's really important to shoot some things in front of the Pierce so he won't get stuck on them. So try to shoot things like fences, post boxes, cars, so he just won't try to avoid them and go straight on the road. Also be sure not to be me and shoot the car really near him, because the explosion radius is really big and it can just really kill Pierce fast. I think Pierce can survive 2 rockets at most with direct hit, but the turret will definitely kill him.
Shoot them already! Little help from up there might be nice. Shoot them already! Little help from up there might be nice. They're blocking the road up here. Help me out. Another roadblock.
Be sure to aim to the right part of this bridge, because there's a car spawning here
Good place to set up.
and chasing Pierce. And now Pierce is in the clear and we're going into a sniper position. And now there will be just some cars that you need to blow up. Some cars spawning, I mean. The first car spawns at this workshop.
I'm the best around.
And behind this building. left. On this building, there'll be 4 guys instead of a car. Since sniper rifles penetrate through bodies into this game, so you can make a collateral here and save some time. And 2 more cars behind this building and going from the left. I think it's not really important to kill this guy since you just need to wait for Pierce to get to his position. Next stop is trafficking. We're gonna call our car.
I'll run with you.
By activating the mission through phone, you can make the homie in your car disappear and jump right in. Because when the homie is in the car, you can't do the Badouken animation or enter the car at all, so it's just really convenient way of despawning him. Park the car nearby and start the mission. The game gives you a car, but we're gonna take our car. Even though the NPCs can go full speed at all times, it is still really useful. And now we just gotta pray for the enemy NPCs to spawn. The way NPCs drive car in this game, specifically in 2 instances of trafficking, there will be another one later, you need some enemy car following you, and that way NPC can go full speed. So just, if you have one car behind you, don't shoot it, just leave it. Here I throw a grenade to clear some path for Pierce, because he can get stuck on one of those tables. And while he tries to sell something, we can kill all of those gang members. The back is clear. This part is a complete RNG, and the second spawn I got is the worst one. The worst spawn is the port because it's like really far. The best spawn you can get is pool, which is the first one, and then the gas station. And I think the worst spawns you can get is first port, and then the pool. Or was it the gas station? No, I think it was the port and gas and pool. So this part is a complete RNG. Sometimes they can really frustrate you for getting this port, because there's only 3 possible locations and only 2 instances where you can go to.
That was easy.
I am at this guy because he can sometimes be... he cannot pay for the product and you need to kill him. In these instances of trafficking, there's only one thing that could go wrong, is that the buyer didn't pay for the product and you just have to kill him. In other instances, sometimes the buyer tries to kill you, or the buyer will be a snitch and he will call the cops on you, and you have to eliminate the cops, and this is like the worst one that could happen in second instance of trafficking.
Let's pick this up another time. Gotta work on my technique.
Yeah, I think the Morning Star got the message we're around.
Police car also considered as the enemy car, so them following you is also good. Here Pierce is just being stupid and getting stuck on the tree. And that's trafficking done. We're gonna take our car that remains here. And now the most important glitch in the Saints Row 3, which is the weapon buy glitch. That will be come down in a second. Pick up the phone, start the mission, and now we need to go to the gun store.
If we're gonna get a cash flow going, we'll need a business to funnel us money.
You wanna rob some store?
That'll cause more problems than it's worth. I'm saying we buy one from the Morningstar.
Yeah, because they'll jump at the chance.
Unfortunately, here I parked my car too close and I lost some time because my car got despawned. The way you do, you need to press up and then enter, so the price will be from the previous upgrade. And this is how you buy glitch, because this saves you a lot of money. Instead of upgrading my pistols to level 4 for like 29k, I only upgraded my pistols for 9k 90, and that's really useful. Fortunately, here I get a vortex, so I can still be fast somewhat. Pick up this collectible.
What the hell is this? Oh, that? A little hobby of mine. I'm out of here.
I don't mean it like that. They're collectible. You're supposed to try and find them all.
People collect some weird shit. Let's get out of here. I have the need to shoot something now.
I've seen Morningstar all over the city doing deals and shit.
Sounds perfect.
We wipe them off the corner. They'll think twice about coming back.
Now the game tells us to eliminate 2 gang operations.
Brick and mortar.
Get out of the car,
Space is cheap.
pull out UAV,
Money out of the syndicate.
and just shoot a rocket into them.
I like it.
A direct hit should kill all of them.
Good times.
It got all of them.
They do business?
Yeah, up to the north.
Oh, here I jump into a series of unfortunate events that could happen in this game. Again, go backwards and the NPC just jumps right in. Be sure not to park here too far, otherwise the game will consider that you're a living gang operation and it will just fail. Again, everyone dead.
That should get them to back.
Again, jump into a car.
Store, get 'em to back off.
And now we just need to get back to the gun store.
Any place the Saints own should be able to take the heat off you.
Good to know.
Enter the gun store and just get back into your car and go to this bar, because this is where the next cutscene will happen. The cutscene mission. The takeover is over. You jump here, start the mission, and it's just a cutscene. After you skipping it, the mission is done.
Shawnee, give me good news.
We're gonna burn powder to the ground.
That's a little extreme.
See you there.
Shawnee, wait. Oh boy.
Now there's going to be some really important upgrades that we're going to do. Is that we're going to get akimbo pistols and we're going to upgrade our sprint capacity. Also, the thing about level 4 pistols is that it's the most OP gun in the game and it'll be used for the most of the run. Sometimes we're going to switch to RPG, but mostly to just kill tanks. Level 4 pistols in this game have explosive rounds, and that causes a glitch that lets this gun wallbang, and you can just shoot through all the walls in the game. I think it's shown here. Throw a grenade onto this brute, shoot him in the head, and here you can just wallbang You need to clear out this room so your NPCs won't get stuck. And just move to the end of the building, to the manager's office. You could just run past all of those NPCs, but be sure to shoot snipers, because if they shoot you, you'll be stun locked for a second, and that's really bad.
Guess the manager cleared out.
I'll get what I can.
Also, this is what I was talking about earlier. Throwing a grenade, but not looking at it, makes the grenade not render, and it was a bridge full of people, but it didn't kill anyone. I actually don't do this here, but you can use your shotgun to farm pistol ammo. Because for the next two missions you can really run out of pistol ammo if you're not careful, and that'll be really bad. As soon as the Shandy finishes hacking the computer, the mission is done. And now we go to the Belgian problem mission. Grab our cartridge we left outside and just go to the Saints HQ.
Pierce, we waited long enough. Now we go for Loren.
It won't be easy. That whole tower's gotta be.
You sure you want to do this, Shonda?
Don't worry about me. I need this. Loren has to pay for what he
You can do a little burnout here to get some starting speed.
We're not stopping with Loren. We're taking out his
Instead of going through the city,
I think we'll need to do
like
one more
completely through the middle park, we're gonna go a little bit to the right, so we don't have to take any more additional turns.
Come on, he's a criminal mastermind. He's got to be on the top floor. It's like a rule.
You think he's gonna be that cliche?
Doesn't matter. We're killing everyone in there.
Some people just can't fight. You sure the crew has the right address for our delivery?
Oh, it's all taken care of. As soon as we make sure the loading dock is clear, they'll drive it in. How many times you gonna check that gun?
How long is it going to take us to get there?
I was just asking.
Save it for Loren's goons.
They ain't fucking around here.
Shit, they have snipers in here.
Drop at the car, cancel it with the roll animation, and then just kill all those guys. As you can see, wallbang works just like a charm. On this brute here, throw a grenade. Unfortunately, I missed. But the brute is still taken care of. This is again why you should eliminate the snipers first, because they can just stun lock you, and that's not really good. Here I'm really low on pistol ammo, so I'm trying to consume my ammo and find some.
Why didn't we wait to do that until after we killed Loren?
That's a really good question. We should move.
What did you do?
It wasn't me. It just
Be sure not to hold sprint at this elevator, because the sprint bar will just consume even though you're not doing anything. Some people don't, but I killed all those snipers here just so they don't stun lock me.
What the fuck is this room? Are those people in there?
looks like all those big guys we keep seeing. Clones?
Makes sense to me.
What?
Okay, maybe makes sense was too strong.
Unfortunately, Brute got stuck on a Morgenstern dude, so I actually have to shoot him, and I'm really low on ammo now.
What would you call him? John. You're getting at his work.
This is a cutscene where we meet Oleg. You can move during this loading screen to forward, so you can reach the elevator faster.
Follow me to Philip's office.
Seriously, man, you know, if you want, I can.
You're supposed to follow Oleg while he breaks down all the doors, but all the doors can be actually shut down.
Unless you have insecurities.
I'm good.
It's best if you do it with pistols, since they can just fly off, but I don't have the pistol ammos here, so yeah.
Loren's office is this way. Knock this thing loose. I'm gonna crush that son of a-
Here you just need to wait, but you can also shoot all of those guards for some money. Shoot this brute in the head until his HP runs out. And be sure to take the disarm the bomb reward, so you have more cash when you complete the missions.
Blow this place to hell.
I hate this place more than anyone, but it would be folly to destroy Philip's research.
And that's basically Belgian problem done. We just need to wait for characters to finish the dialogue.
Building for yourself.
Your choice here, boss.
And that's Act 1 done. And return to Steelport, starting cutscene. Some really bad people jump in our friend's funeral, so we have to go and avenge him now.
All right, who's first? Picking up
We
the
start
Decker.
by taking a boat
The Decker's
and
on the
going
way.
to a barge.
What's her deal?
Oleg said she was with the FBI. The fuck you say? Don't stress. She was kicked out.
So we're getting a
Waiting.
ship back.
It's important to wait for Pierce and Shandy to teleport into a boat.
I'm just saying.
I'm not jealous.
Who said jealous? That's all on you, girl.
Oh my god.
Flirt later. Why was Kinsey booted? Oleg didn't give me all the details, but he made it sound like Kinsey was about to out the syndicate, so the Decker set her up for a fall.
Oh, I hope she's worth the hassle.
Only one way to find out. Gotta get on that bar.
Instead of just dropping it from the behind, you can go onto a side, slam it, and then exit. And you'll be close to Kinsey.
It's the blood pumping.
To my loins. Oh!
Seriously, Neo sighted
I'm trying to find some pistol ammo here.
3 years ago.
what? Yeah, focus on finding the Fed.
Kinsey Kensington?
Yep. You don't seem that excited about being rescued. I'm waiting to see if you were sent to kill me.
Girl's pragmatic.
Anti-Kinsey,
What with me?
and I'm trying to find some pistol ammo over here.
Let you know some people who hate the syndicate as much as we do.
Drop this car, wait for Pierce again, burn out, and go.
Forgot to say thanks for freeing me.
You and the Zemo guy makes 2. Usually I get 3 people to help me.
I think I know someone who'd help, but I gotta find him first. I'll call you when I have a location.
You ever been to one of these clubs?
I look like I go to one of those clubs.
I'm just saying, you know, powerful guy, stressful job.
Stop talking.
That's what I thought.
Shut up.
How the hell are we supposed to find this guy?
Shake people down. Someone's got to know where they're keeping our boy.
Go inside the club and go to the left.
Tell me where Zemo says or I'm gonna beat you stupid. Oh, yes!
Oh, you gotta be kidding me.
The manager's upstairs. He no. Just take me. I've been bad.
And now go up the stairs and to the left. This is the most fastest way you can get to the next phase.
You the manager?
I don't know anything. I'm just here for a bachelor party.
Killing the human shield is faster than throwing him, so be sure to do that when you grab the human shields. Grab the manager,
say anything, something else is getting cut off. He's in the pony barn. All right.
If I never see this place again, it'll be too soon.
How we gonna find Zemos? Look.
Skip this cutscene, and now, yes, this. It's important to not shoot the pony, I guess, and just headshot the Morgenstein dudes.
Can this guy go any faster?
I don't think it works that way.
Because I think if you blow up, when you shoot the pony, the cart just explodes for some reason, and sometimes new guys can just spawn. Call a car here. It spawns right over here.
His name's Angel de la Muerte. He was killed.
Zimmer Jameson, and now we go to the gun store.
Angel went crazy or Killbane went crazy?
I should probably look into that. The point is, Angel hates Killbane more than you do.
Casually, you don't really know where you're going right now,
Find him.
but since we do know, we just go to this bridge, go into the oncoming lane,
You ask too many questions. Hurry up, you're on the clock.
and then take first turn to the left,
Don't mention it.
and again to the left.
Come on, Z. We got a rescue to mount. I take it Saddle Up is out too?
Park here at the gun store. And now we need to buy ammo, grenades, and also a rocket launcher. Possibly to level 2 if you have the money. Grenades, pistol, rocket ammo, UAV ammo, and exit. And now we need to get to the Angels Casino. Jump out of your car, pull out the rocket launcher, and one-shot this brute. Then you can fire a rocket into the cars, and then just use pistols.
Nice of you.
And go inside of the casino and wait for the checkpoint to appear.
I'm not too late to the party, am I? Nope.
Be sure to shoot down this brute that Oleg is supposed to fight,
Leave this imposter to me.
so the next brute upstairs spawns faster. Shoot him down, jump down, and go to the ring. And now we just wait for other two brutes to spawn. First one, second one, and that's mission done.
Talking about.
And now we're back for some more activities. Grab your car from the garage and go to the left. And take this activity. Interest fraud is the most worst activity you can have a speedrun, because it's bad physics versus bad RNG can just make you be really slow on this activity. But here I fortunately get a really fast car that just slams me in for 28k. Here I get really lucky and get 2 trucks in a row. The bigger the vehicle, the more bonus you get. And that's basically done. You can finish this activity in basically any place, so it's best to finish the activity close to the trailblazing start.
That's right, checkpoint down. That's right, checkpoint down. I got this.
There's really nothing much for me to say. You just go through the checkpoints because, as I said earlier, sometimes this game can be really slow paced, but when you get through all the activities that you need to complete, it's just fast and it's not boring as this. So yeah, this activity done. Now we take any car from the street, since you can request your car, as I tried here. I get the worst car possible and I start the mission Eye of the Tiger.
Are you ready for the last test?
You got a funny definition of training, Angel.
There's a car waiting for you. Head to it.
I've already played in traffic.
Actually, I don't really need to pick up this phone call, but I just can't remember the route to this activity, so I just activated to have as a checkpoint where I need to go.
You put a tiger in my car. Angel and I need to have a little.
It's really important not to hit stuff, otherwise the animal rage will just go up, and the courage will not go up. So you just need to find a perfect speed for you to turn and to avoid obstacles, not to get animal rage.
Who called these assholes? Stay back there, damn it!
Sometimes the tiger will try to claw you and you will lose control of your car, but that's not really major.
Oh, I'm gonna kill Angel. I can take on the fucking world right now. No claws.
Just try to go around the Angel's Casino so you won't have to go too far for the next cutscene to trigger.
Animal activist. Me. Fuck your pictures. Hey, I'm not happy either. Now, Angel knows what he's doing.
Angel stopped near the casino. Go close to the casino and trigger the cutscene from your phone. And that's done. We're basically done with all of the Angel's activities. Now we take any random car from the street.
Named after famous bank robber Johnny Dillinger. You're rocking hard with John on the blood.
And we're going for the Sage HQ for the next mission.
Hey, Shaundi, I was.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Whoa, whoa, what did I do?
A party? We're throwing a fucking party now.
Party? I didn't. Shit.
Here I was supposed to buy upgrade for sprint level 2, but I am a little bit short on the respect, so instead I'm going to buy some grenade capacity and ammo pistol capacity. So here I was really lost about that I need respect for my stamina upgrade, but I actually came out with a strat that I actually remembered from Saints Row 2 speedrun, is that I started taunting, and taunting gives you respect when you kill an enemy. And I get the maximum. And that's just enough for me to rank up. So that was a really big brain strat that you can consider a backup strat, I guess. And I also buy explosive ammo capacity. And now we just wait for the Pierce to go down so we can revive him. Move to this room and wait for the sniper rifle to appear.
They must have cut it. This just gets better and better. Looks like there's a light show outside. Sniper, better grab a rifle and get up top. On it.
And now just shoot down all of those snipers. If you're out on the sniper ammo, just switch to your pistols. They're hitting long enough. Oh, here I actually got confused. Where was the last sniper?
We'll get you back while you take out those snipers. Snipers are down. Let's get some power.
And the sniper was there, I just didn't hit him.
That shit's downstairs after you.
Be sure not to sprint before the animation of character hitting the phone, because sometimes you might soft lock and not get this animation, and the call won't go through, and you're basically soft locked. It's a rare thing, but I've seen people having it, so better just be safe. Pick up the rocket launcher. Now we just need to destroy a few helicopters. 1, 2. Move to the next position on this roof. Jump down here. And you basically just spawn cape in those helicopters. That was 3. That was 4. And the final 5th one. Skip the cutscene again, and that's mission done. Next up is Zimos activities, and for this one we're gonna take the helicopter that we just got into our garage, the heliport. Take the heliport and fly east. The really fun thing about helicopters in this game is that the rotor blades just don't have any collisions, so you can just not be scared of hitting any buildings, like for example in GTA games. start the activity and get back up in the helicopter.
You got someplace I can stash them? No one could beat me.
Those homies that you get, they can actually rubber band you, but sometimes they can just die, and that's really a bad thing. So, ever since then, I failed this mission once. I just wait for them to just teleport into my helicopter. Thanks, neighborhood. That's really useful. Jesus, I'm so sorry. Man, why now? Come on.
I didn't get far. I wish I had a picture of this.
You need at least 2 to get inside. The third one will rubber band you. So even though it says you're abandoning followers, it will just rubber band and re-abandon again. I don't know how to say it. But basically you don't need them anyway. Come on, neighbor, not now, please. Jesus.
I'll run with you.
Call your car again. Get inside and move to the Zimos trafficking now. Park the car here on the road and start the activity. Get out of the car and get inside your car.
How's this work?
Just as the previous trafficking, it has multiple places you can go to, and of course
Shit like a department
the RNG is upon me and it just gives me the worst spawn, which is the port once again.
Point taken. These regular
The speedrunners of Saints Row really hate port, I gotta say.
What's the Morningstar gonna think about you being back in business?
Instead of going to 2 places this time, we're going to 3 places.
Good. Stop fucking around.
But in this port you can actually do a really useful thing. When Zimos gets to the buyer, you can just drop into the water and warp to shore. This will force a fade out and the deal will be over. Basically anytime fade out happens during the deal, the dealer will just stop trading and it will be considered done. This is the most consistent way of getting the fade out.
Something wrong with your eyes?
Sometimes this hot dog dude can be a sting and it will call cops on you. You need to kill the cops before going to the next deal, otherwise it won't trigger.
Maybe we should reassess this situation.
So just get out of your car, kill the cops. It's better to just get out of the car and just spam the car with your double pistols, because when you're inside the car, you can double pistol.
You have enough of those things to go around?
Shit's running low. Gonna have to get my bitches to print more after this next drop.
Here I'm just trying to shake in my camera. It's kind of a placebo that works sometimes. Is that you can spawn a car. I spawned the car, but it got stuck on the tree, so I don't get additional speed because no NPCs followed me.
Blood pumping to my loins.
Wells run dry. Catch me after I get some more of these ready.
All right.
They got answer for.
Say a demo derby.
Grab your car that is left there and go for the next activity called escort. I again don't remember the exact route to this, but it's really easy. So I just take it from my phone.
What do I look like to you?
You just need to pick up a customer and just drive him around the town while doing some really random things. I think in this PB, this activity was really bad. Oh yeah, it was really bad. I remember now.
I'm the best around. Let me stuff that for you.
I could spread wider.
Here it asks you to deal vehicle damage.
Anything that stretches.
You like being squeezed?
And for some reason, the game tells me to go to the motel that is like 500 meters from me, even though there's a closer one, which is like 200 meters. And it's a really bad RNG or either my really bad positioning. Anyway, just don't go too far south or you'll get really bad RNG again.
Thanks. This how it's supposed to fit.
Nipple clamps? Rough stuff must turn you on.
I need to power slide for 1 second,
That was easy.
and I can drop the client.
Just keep stroking there.
You like being squeezed? Since we're already wet, how about another round?
Careful where you sit.
Oh yeah, and this NPC.
Do I need to get tested now?
And that's escort done. I'm gonna go into main menu and hit the continue button, so I spawn at Zimus's house. Start the mission, go into a garage, enter the cutscene. Now going to a garage again because exiting this house is very long and we need a car anyway to get to the next mission.
Why? So you can suggest more hookers that'll try to kill us? It's a common problem, I'm sure.
And while no group has taken credit for the
Wait, we get the new guns. Ain't my
Ugh.
fault if the girls don't perform.
We're not really going to pay attention to what's really going on, but you can notice that I skipped a throwing up animation by doing a roll. This animation you unfortunately can't skip because it's tied to the computer animation. Try not to get sniped by this guy or you get stun locked.
I mean, this just feels right.
Here I didn't manage to skip the animation.
What is making the floor vibrate? You lost to the best.
You got more of this stuff, right? This is what it's like to be Shandi.
The game actually tells you to activate all other computers, but you only need to get to this one and then eliminate the rest of the Morgenstein in this room. Again, you can wallbang and just kill them all over here.
Wouldn't want to be Morningstar right now.
Pull out the rocket launcher to kill this brute. And that's mission done. Now we need to go into a penthouse, go to the heliport and get the helicopter. The next activity is Mayhem and it's supposed to be done on foot, but since we're so smart, we're gonna take a helicopter and we're just gonna destroy even more fences, but now with a helicopter. This is just a really boring fly to the activity start, so I guess this is a perfect time to read donations on marathons and for me to catch a little break. Oh man. land on this. How's it called? The double cross? I don't remember the name in English, I'm so sorry. Basically land there on the road, start the activity and go back to the helicopter. And now just start to shoot fences. Be sure not to overheat your rockets. Unfortunately here I get a soft lock and it forces me to completely restart my game. But the good thing is it still saves your progress, so basically mayhem activity is done and it's saved into my save file, but I just need to restart the game because I can't do anything at this point. That is a really unfortunate thing that can happen, unfortunately. Yeah. I think it's one of the 3 softlocks that could ever happen in the run. The good thing is you can start cyberblazing right here. So actually crushing the game by this softlock is not a really big time loss. It's like 15 minutes at most, depending on how long your game launches. You can trigger this mission right from the Kinsey's crib. As I told earlier, starting the activities from the phone triggers a cutscene, but here it's a really useful thing because you need to go specifically to the activity start. And that's activity done. Of course I lose some time here because I got a soft lock. Now we need to grab any random car from the street and go to the next activity, which is not too far from here, with the heli assault. Here you can kill some more gang operations for some more money. This is probably one of the most boring missions in the game, since you just have to babysit Kinsey from a helicopter for like 3 minutes, I think? 5 minutes? Yeah, it's supposed to be 5 minutes something. It's really boring because they don't even give you too much stuff to shoot. They only send you one car per like 30 seconds.
You do your thing.
Every time Kinsey completes a checkpoint, there's a helicopter spawn, but it's not big much of a deal. Just be sure to kill it really fast. can't believe I'm making this video in a complete silence because there's really nothing much to say about this.
Nothing slows me down.
Also, be sure not to go too far from the Kinsey, as I did here by mistake, because she actually got stuck in one place. Until that moment, I thought that Kinsey doesn't have a distance meter when she stops doing anything, but turns out she has one. When she says her line that she got to the last checkpoint, start making your way to this warehouse. It'll skip her last lines and also spawn you closer to her warehouse where the next mission begins.
Sure thing, dog.
Call your car, since the only cars spawning here are really slow trucks and SUVs,
Zemos, I need you to tell me how to hit the Morning Star.
so it's better to have your car.
When do you want this by?
Right now?
Shit, don't make it easier.
Never said I would.
Alright, come and get me in the wheel.
Hold on a second, Z. Maybe these girls won't try to kill us. Crazy bitches with guns are memorable. You wanna drive this thing?
Here I kind of missed on the bridge. You can just drive up to this thing and just drop from the boat, but unfortunately I missed it.
I'm sure you will.
While you still have the door opening animation, you can shoot your gun. So for later, the game will ask you to eliminate all of those Morgensteins, but you can shoot them as you open up the doors.
Stay by the guy with the big Z.
Come on, baby, follow the Z.
Shit! Who the fuck put him in a box?
Oh yeah, and be sure to kill this brute with the rocket launcher. There'll be one more brute that you need to kill with rockets.
Shit. Get moving and stay with them.
For the last set of crates, you
Guys are fucked up.
you don't need to open up all of the containers as the game tells you. You just need to kill the brute.
Asshole up there's blocking the way.
Now go to this container, jump up on the container,
Safe.
over this railing, and go to the furthest right one container. And you don't need to open anymore.
Jesus, how many crates did they bring in?
We better load these bitches up before your boy gets
You want out of here, you get in the crate.
I've been in there so long already. One day I'll be free.
They're coming for
I hear him.
Think I saw some big fire.
I'm always going for the minigun that brute drops because it has more ammo. Sometimes I could just have a really bad aim and not aim anything. Let's destroy a few boats and a few helicopters.
I'm almost there. Hold them off while I'm coming in.
We're on it, Pierce.
Think they ain't happy with us?
They'll get over it.
Y'all can stay in my place for a while.
I like to shoot down this helicopter with the pistols because it has infinite range anyway. Because the minigun doesn't have that kind of range. And it also has a spread. While we're waiting for the Pierce to arrive, you can go back for the first containers and pick up the
Pierce, we're clear.
rocket ammo.
Close up there and get the hell out of here.
But I didn't get it because it turns out I picked up all of the rocket ammo already.
What, with this many guards?
And here comes probably the biggest skip in this game, which is really easy to do. This is supposed to be like a 4-minute long autoscroller where you just defend your helicopters with a rocket launcher. But if you hold your call homies button and then dismiss them, the helicopter will just go down and it will move you to the next mission phase, which is loading up truck.
You have something that belongs to me.
During this loading, you can actually move,
Bargain.
as I try to do here,
Morningstar and I'll
but unfortunately I got really confused and
That's all I'm asking.
hit the left and just got stuck on the truck, but it's not really major thing. And we need to get back girls to the Morningstar, so they give us 25k. We still need cash to upgrade rockets to level 3 and for some upgrades later. And that's mission done.
I'll run with you.
Here I actually request a car from my phone
Kinsey, I am not moving any more boxes.
when in current any percent route. You actually go inside of the building, access the garage, and go behind the building and drop down right to the highway, which is faster by like 15 seconds than doing this. So yeah, you would drop from here and to this bridge. Now we're going for the Kinsey's Guardian Angel, which is again just a huge auto-scroller once again. Sometimes it's just really boring to play this game, but as soon as you get over them and you fight with yourself to play them, the game has actually becomes more enjoyable than this.
Alright, I know. I saw the deckers coming. Just keep me safe, okay?
You actually need to shoot the homies that follow Kinsey because they can slow her down.
You think hanging up here is easy? You can do it next time.
Nobody will punish you for that anyway. And then just quickly eliminate the deckers. I'm trying to not to blow up cars here because Kinsey can get stuck in the like dancing in fire animation where he just swings her hands like this and it's really bad. So I'm just trying to shoot the drivers instead. And this is the last checkpoint. There's gonna be a car spawning here. And unfortunately, I missed this guy a lot. Kinsey gets into a car, and now we're switching to a rocket launcher and following her.
This is why I don't get out much. Could really use some protection here.
Oh man.
Help! Help would be good.
Oh yeah, sometimes this happens, but it's not really major. Your helicopter pilot is so good it can go out of situations like this.
We're being followed.
I just figured out that this game is a perfect game for marathons because you can just read donations all along.
Get rid of these guys.
Again, be sure not to shoot too close to the Kinsey's car, otherwise you can actually blow her up, like I once did in some of my PBs.
Now to lock myself away for a week.
And now we're actually getting to an interesting mission, the gang bang. In this mission, there's a new type of enemy appears, which is a stag, which is like a really futuristic SWAT guys. They're taking over the city and trying to take us down.
Speak of the devil. Hey, hang on a moment, Oleg.
Looks like the information about the ship was useful.
You want to meet, don't
And we're gonna use their techniques for our purposes. Okay, so you need to go through this corridor into the main hall
Soldiers of some sort, though I don't recognize the uniform.
and just achieve this checkpoint. And now the fun part begins. Skip this cutscene, and there's a Condor arriving. Condor is like a flying VTOL for passengers. There's two types of VTOLs. Condor, which is like a passenger, and VTOL as the strike plane, I guess. And you can just get in the corner by just pressing your enter button. You can move, but you still can't shoot. So you can shoot all of others VTOLs. Be sure to do it really quick, otherwise some VTOLs can just push you out and actually kill you. As soon as the game reaches checkpoint, you will restart from that checkpoint. And that way the plane stays on the ground. Now we need to wait for Oleg to go down. Revive him. And get into a Condor, which you can now control. And move to this position. Have a little height. For reference, you can use the 70 or 65 meters. Jump down with the parachute. And now just wait for the elevator to get a checkpoint. Now we need to go outside. We actually don't need to use door here. We can use a little auto bounce trick by jumping into this car. The game tells you to drive a car to the Saints HQ, but since we get the Condor, we can just get into the Condor. We don't have to wait for Shanti, and we can just fly straight to it. This is like the best skip we could ever find in this game, in my opinion. Because driving a car through the city where there's a lot of cars shooting at you with planes and stuff, it's really hard. But by using a plane, it's just really easy.
Boss, you seeing this? I'm getting reports from the crew that these guys, they're all over.
It looks like it's not just us they're after.
Who knows? We've been busy running for cover.
Thanks, Shawnee. We'll be back soon. I hope.
Start the mission convoy decoy. Skip another cutscene. And now we're going for the stack military base to get ourselves a VTOL and destroy some of their checkpoints.
Pierce is loading the trucks. I will create a distraction at the park.
Alright, that should spread them out. I'll start some shit at one of those stack bases.
All over the city. This invasion of armed forces, known as the Stag Initiative, vows to end the death and destruction that has plagued our streets. Upon their arrival, a raid was conducted on a popular nightclub.
Instead of just stopping here, you can actually go through all of the base on a car. Don't be afraid of guys shooting at you. And now we just take a plane. Now we go for the closest checkpoint, which is 300 meters here. Destroy 2 of those containers, this one, and now we go to the left for the next bridge. Pierce asks us for some help with the tanks, so we're gonna go help him. Charge your rockets. The laser is also helpful for killing tanks. I just use the rocket sometimes for tanks just to kill multiple targets, since it has a really huge explosion radius.
Focus fire on that VTOL until another target is located.
On this checkpoint, some of those containers are really glitched, I would like to say, because on some of them laser doesn't work at all, so you have to charge rockets for that. Like for example, on this container that was the last one, the laser does not work at all, so I actually have to shoot it with rockets. It's a really stupid thing that happens. Nobody knows really why.
Some people just can't fight.
I tried to take down those containers on a go, but it didn't succeed. There's a checkpoint happening, so we're gonna reload from the checkpoint. That spawn us closest to Oleg, and we can help him. Shoot those targets with rockets and then laser them. And there's a tank. I hit it with rockets. And then there's gonna be 2 VTOLs. 1, 2, and now we can just go for the final checkpoint, which is destroying a really huge plane.
We're trying to keep a low profile here. We can't go speeding through the streets.
Well, they got an AWACS plane flying with a lot of escorts.
You serious?
Look, just get there. I'll think of something.
And here's just another break where you have to fly for 2,000 kilometers. I mean, 2 kilometers. I mean, 2,000 meters, you know.
Detain anyone seen aiding the Saints.
Shoot down those 2 VTOLs, then shoot down the Condors. And both rocket and laser the plane.
I'm Joshua Burke. Hey.
Here I skip all of the prompt cutscenes, I mean prompt screens, and I'm exiting my game because the mission after this one, which is the stack party, can actually crash my game or make it soft lock, so it's like a safety thing. You at some point you really need to close down your game. I do it after the mission Convoy Decoy. Some people do it after the Nightblade's return, but I don't kind of like it. And now we're just continuing from the checkpoint. We need to grab our VTOL as soon as we get off the landing port. We need to trigger the mission return, the Nightblade's return, and then we go here.
Pierce, you worked out a way to hurt Stag yet?
Yeah, Viola's on her way to meet
Some people are really afraid to be parking their VTOL on the marker because it can despawn. I don't know for the people, but it never despawned for me, even though I parked strictly on the marker. So it's like a really weird thing. Or does it respawn? No, it doesn't. Okay.
Really? Hey, it's sexy. Slutty, but sexy.
I didn't get a master's in economics to look like a slut.
Isn't it nice to know you can surprise yourself?
Shonda gets teleported inside. Oh, I mean Viola. And now we can just fly to the PR center.
guy. He's probably practicing on camera already.
You that serious about his work?
No, he's that in love with himself. Well, and Shandi. The point is, he'll be there. All right, we're here. Lose the guns. We're here for the Nightblade shoot.
Yeah, go in.
Not gonna lie, thought this whole thing was a stunt for Pierce to see her tits, but it's actually working.
I don't care if it works.
Be sure not to hit any of the guards while running, because it can actually give you a wanted level, and it will fail the mission, and you have to start over from the beginning and without the VTOL. So it's like a really huge time loss. Grab Josh Burke and now just get out of the building.
Really wanted to punch him.
What's going on?
Don't fuck with the Saints. He'll be fine. You just can't take a punch for shit.
And if he isn't?
Then I've done the world a favor.
You'll never stop me. Order.
You'd think they were guarding someone important.
I'm not surprised. Publicity is the key to taking a city. It really looks like they're all up the entrance.
Let's see if there's another way down here.
That wasn't in script. Stop the carnival. Are we improvising?
Must be a way out of the garage.
Kids, is that you?
On time!
Don't break the outfits.
Get to the basement
Get Burke in the car.
and get Burke into the car. Some people here are going for the gun store to refill on ammo, but I actually do it in the beginning of the next mission.
Keep him quiet while we get back to the crib.
And if he wakes up,
You're the bloody canoness. You'll think of something.
I'm killing Pierce.
Yeah, about that. We're just kidnapping you.
Why? Really? Do we need to spell it out?
Trying to avoid some of those stack cars, otherwise they will just ram you and you basically can't move because they'll be over you because their cars are higher. Or that could happen. That actually triggered a checkpoint. The checkpoints in cars trigger from like 10 meters away, so it's possible to grab them like this. And now the most crash heavy mission, because of how much explosions happened here, is the stack party. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna get inside of the crib. We're gonna access the heliport, and we're gonna take the VTOL.
Shandi, how's Josh?
Try again, man.
Pierce. I called Shandi.
Oh, you did? She just too busy holding herself back from killing Burke to answer. Hey!
Boss, you gotta get me out of here. He's proposed to...
Park the VTOL on the road and start the mission. The game actually tells you to go back to the PR center and blow up, burn some banners with the Molotov cocktails, but laser of the VTOL is actually considered as fire weapon, so you can just use the laser to fire them up. And also this is where I go for the refill in the gun store. Carefully park your VTOL here and then move to the gun store. I make some upgrades here to grab some more ammo capacity, pistol, explosive, and also faster reloads. I go for the rocket launcher, I upgrade it to level 3, and I buy pistol ammo, rocket ammo, and also switch to UAV. You only need one UAV rocket, so ammo count doesn't really matter. Some people just don't use the UAV. I just use it to consume. I mean, to save 3 rocket ammo. Carefully land here, blow up banners, and just go back to the HQ. Land down here, switch to pistols, and go to the elevator. And now the real Russian mark begins. You need to blow up all of those cars so there won't be a checkpoint trigger later. Like, blow up those cars and kill the stag units. So just blow it up and go back to the south side. And do the same here. And now we are just gonna waiting. We're gonna just wait for the stack to appear here. Shoot them up. The checkpoint with blowing up cars is skipped. So now we just need to kill 2 sets of snipers. First set. For second snipe you should use a pistol because they're on a higher ground than you, and hitting them with the rocket is really hard. Pull out the rocket launcher and destroy 3 tanks, I think. 1, 2. Oh, okay, it's 2 tanks. Sorry. After that, pull out your UAV and wait for the Pierce. As soon as the Pierce appears, fire the controllable rocket and destroy that tank. And now just go to the elevator. You don't need to wait for Pierce, just go back. Here I actually get really low health, so this is what's called the health upgrade abuse. Whenever you upgrade uh, your health is buffed up to 100 again, so you can survive another dozens of bullets. But you basically only have 2 charges for that, so you gotta be really careful with that. Using the new toy that Pierce gives you is completely useless, just stick to the rocket launcher. Pick up the rockets here. And just continue to destroy tanks.
Just what we need.
Destroy the first VTOL, and there's going to be another set of VTOLs. Some of them you can hit with one rocket, but I never actually succeed to do that. And that's basically it. Oh no, wait, there's one more spawn that is coming for Viola. And just wallbang them. Go to the upper floor, shoot the window, and just go to the heliport. And just jump from the tower. It's important to give work to the Shaundi, otherwise this cutscene is longer here. Go back to the crib, take your VTOL, and now we just go for the Kinsey cutscene and the Kinsey mission.
Kinsey, how's the information you got on the Deckers coming?
It's compiling.
So what's next?
Not talking over the phone now.
Another good time to just read the donations.
Smiling Jacks. Go there.
Okay.
Launch your VTOL and trigger the cutscene.
You should be more careful.
As soon as that finishes, just start the mission.
What's up?
You need to see this.
Jump into a car, wait for Shaundi, and now we go for the helicopter.
Get a helicopter. Use it. I'll explain when you're airborne.
That asshole's gonna trash the Saints on air.
He already is.
I'm sitting with a man the wrestling community has called the Walking Apocalypse.
Fuck him.
This guy's got a bigger ego than me.
Frighten your fans as well as your foes.
Not at all. It's an inspiration to all my fans to rise above.
We're here, Kinsey. What next?
I sent you coordinates to several radio towers. Head to the first one and let me know when you
Start flying before the Kinsey actually tells you to where to go. It's really simple, just aim for this building.
Ah, yes. Kilbane's
You can aim for those two things over here.
summer program that gets kids off the
Land down on a helipad, exit the helicopter, and get back in. I unfortunately spent too much here. And just land next to the tower.
Thanks for the heads up.
Use the transmitter I left under the seat. Place one next to the radio antenna, then head to the next tower.
How many gadgets do you think Kinsey's got all over this city by now?
Who cares as long as she isn't bugging my bedroom?
She wouldn't spy on her own people like that.
You sure about that?
Remind me to have my room checked when we
Wait for the Kinsey to get in. Because sometimes she can just get stun locked or be too distracted by the gunfire. But fortunately here she just gets teleported inside. And now go to the next tower.
There can only be one legend. We fought. He lost. I won.
If Angel de la Muerte was to come out of hiding, would you face him in a rematch?
Without his mask, he's nothing. Less than nothing. The dirt under my boots gets more respect from me. To consider a rematch would mean admitting he's still worthy of my time.
Let's hope he's not out there listening in. But to everyone else,
Again,
we'll have
land on the heliport and get back inside.
It's safer you don't know. Well, probably means that it's safer if you don't know. Look, they work, that's all that matters.
What are we gonna do about that video the press has?
Our PR department can take care of that, right?
People think we blew up a landmark. I don't think it's that easy.
Then what the hell are we paying for?
Covering up the small shit.
Since when do we do small shit?
There, got it. Sending the coordinates.
Again, wait for Shandi.
Broadcasting van. It's where the signal is being sent from.
They're inside it?
No, use the laser signal tracker to help me find the broadcast location.
They what?
The light on the helicopter. Shine it on the van.
Unfortunately here,
Murder Brawl 30
Shandi gets stuck and I'm kind of late for the van spawn.
to the accusations that it is just legalized killing.
Well, it's entertainment for the masses, nothing more.
But you admit
Great. They're
people
running.
do get
We
hurt.
must have
Of
spooked them.
course they do. I may be carved out of sacred marble, but occasionally...
Sometimes this van can really troll you real hard and go under the
And what of those who have died at the event?
railroad system, and where you can't aim for them. Like here, you can't aim through this, so you have to go really down.
Don't play with grenades and just blow your hands off.
When we come back with Kilbane, we'll take a few calls from our listeners.
And this is the ultimate shot. He does a 180 and he does it again, but fortunately he gets stuck. You trigger a checkpoint here and you restart from the checkpoint. And that spawns you close to the building where Kilbane is giving his interview, supposedly.
Quietly?
Quiet-ish.
Drop down from rally, go down the stairs,
Where the hell is Kilbane?
and start shooting deckers. You need to eliminate all of the deckers on the floor before proceeding. So don't be afraid to use grenades, pistols, maybe even rockets. No, actually don't use rockets here. Trigger the interview woman and just go up the stairs.
You're not after me about the interview, are you?
Back to the chopper. We're going after Kilbane.
Let's put a bullet in that son of a bitch.
You don't need to wait for Shandi here,
I'll get you above him.
since she rubber bands to you anyway.
Make it count.
But you can just trigger the Kilbane's limo. And that's it. Here you can load up a safe to spawn into the crib that has heliport. And now we're taking our VTOL. And we go into Kinsey's place again. Oh, and once again, a really long flying part. You can trigger a mission here, so you know where to go.
The Deckers are a problem, Kinsey.
I've been working on that.
And what have you come up with?
Well, I guess you were bound to be here someday.
What are you talking about?
Come to my place. I'll show you what you're gonna need.
Try to land your VTOL really carefully over here, because you can get stuck on some cranes or some containers and trigger the mission.
You can hit the light.
Instead of taking the car, take your VTOL, let Pierce get inside, he teleported back in, try to avoid that crane, and now just go for the PR center once again.
Kinsey, where's the computer being held?
At the Stat PR Center. Hurry!
So you and Shandy were beaten by a little punk like Miller. Beat? He crashed our fucking helicopter. That sounds like you lost to me.
Put me in a room with Miller and we'll see who loses.
Shit, looks like the Deckers started the party.
Well, guess we're crashing then.
Enter the stag center and just start shooting both the stag and the deckers. Be sure not to shoot everyone, because some targets are not marked as the important ones. For the guys that spawn upstairs, use the wallbang.
Kinsey, the truck's moving out and we have company here.
I called in reinforcements for you guys.
Oh.
Oh no, don't you dare. I don't want
Wait for the Pierce to get inside, otherwise he will get stuck and you will leave him behind.
Okay, following the truck on the street cams in. Oh god, what the hell are you doing?
Going after the truck?
I said don't use the tank.
Relax. We won't use the cannon.
Kinsey, you're breaking up.
No, I'm not. You're just using your mouth to pretend like you are.
What's that, Kinsey?
Use the machine gun then, not the cannon.
Here you need to be really careful to shoot the trucks, the tires. You can aim a little up from the tires, the hitbox is kind of generous. Just be sure to use semi-auto, not full auto, as you can just, the spread will shoot in a way that it will damage the truck and not the tires, and you can actually blow it up. And of course that is something you don't want to do. Start the next mission.
Alex.
And now we need to take a car from our garage.
potato. One of the
Now
most
we're gonna need to go to
powerful
the
supercomputers
nuke
in North
plant.
America has been taken from
Instead of taking the road, we're gonna take this really convenient shortcut here.
Why don't we just run in and take the
Shortcut. Yes, shortcut. Jesus, English is hard, man.
That would be a bad thing.
in an undisclosed location. There is no official word regarding the
So if you're hooking me up to this thing, it's gonna be comfortable, right?
How should I know? It's a chair.
Yeah, but are we talking padded leather that reclines or some wicker bullshit?
That's what you're worried about? If your ass is gonna be comfy?
These details are important.
Mobile computing news.
Alright, here's the power uplink locations. Keep the deckers off.
The first one we're gonna go is on the left.
This looks like it. Buy me the time
Be sure to drop down Kinsey closer to the hacking computer.
Where'd I go? Hey, you lost me.
Mind keeping it down out there?
You're kidding, right?
Sorta.
Are at the club.
That's one. Two more to go.
Wait for the Kinsey to enter your car, and then you can just go. Then we go to the left. Go inside and drop the Kinsey closer to the computer so she doesn't have to walk for too long or get stuck by bullets. I'm trying to consume my ammo here. I mean, to conserve my ammo here.
How's it going in there?
These things take time.
You should just let me shoot it instead.
Two down. Last one and we're in business.
And now we go to the final computer. Use this hole in the wall and drop down right next to it.
You lost to the best. Faster would be better.
Alright, that's it.
Now can we go in and get this chair?
Nope. Now we go up in a helicopter.
For some reason, Kinsey here really goofed me.
I have to train.
She gets in a completely wrong car, and then I bump her because I doesn't notice her because of the particle effect. But she jumps in my car, so at least that's good. Be sure not to slam into this gate, or you can get stuck. And now we're just gonna wait some time for a helicopter. Picking up this collectible is not necessary, just nothing that I do while waiting. The helicopter arrives, and now we just go inside.
Alright, we have to fly around the area for this to work.
Just do whatever it is you do, and I'll take care of the rest.
It's simple. I measure the...
Not asking for a lesson here.
Right. Forgot.
You find anything yet, Kinsey?
There's a lot of power output coming from this place, so it's hard to get a lock on the chair.
No shit, it's a power plant.
I need more time. Got it! It's right under the main cooling tower.
Alright, let's go get
Just you, and you'll have to take the quick way. The deckers may already be destroying the chair to keep it from us.
quick way.
Yeah, jump.
Jump out of the helicopter and aim for the south.
I'm in, Kinsey.
You can cancel animation if you just hold your sprint button and just jump.
On the consoles.
That's what I said, wasn't it?
now we need to disable 4 computers that are electrifying defense, because that's how things work in this game. While you hack, some of these fine gentlemen can actually use a melee animation on you and skip your animation, which is really useful. I killed this guy because he has a rocket launcher and it kinda scared me. But also to get some ammo from him, I guess. Unfortunately, none of these guys wants to hit me. Here I'm really low on health, so I use another health upgrade. And this is the last health upgrade that I can use, so if I get low next time, there's actually nothing to save me.
Secure's still pulling power from the system. I don't get it.
Well, it's still plugged in.
Oh, cut that link too.
And this is done. Call your car here. And then just drop down from the highway. Again, activating the mission so you can skip the homie get out of car animation.
Why ask me? Talk to Kenzie or Oleg.
Cause I can understand.
Think they said they'd be done pretty soon. We could probably head over whenever.
Alright, see you when I get there.
And we need to go back to the Kenzie's place. It's just mostly one of the most fun missions casually and not really in a speedrun. It's the mission where we take over the cybernetic place run by Deckers, and specifically the Matt Miller. I also buy the sprint upgrade here. And this is I think this is the last upgrade you ever buy in a speedrun. Yes, it's the last one.
Sorry about that. Let me load up another.
I thought you knew what you were doing.
I haven't finished your avatar yet. That one's just temporary.
I don't have arms.
Just start moving through the data. I'll sort it out soon.
This isn't much better. Are you trying to tell me something, Kinsey?
Quit complaining, you big baby.
Now this I can work with.
Good, because Matt sniffed me out.
This is my world to shape as I see fate, not yours.
Run straight through all of those guys. Be sure to roll jump on stairs because it actually makes you go faster.
Firewall burst.
Unfortunately, here I did the takedown animation.
Accessing the Decker's data. You'll know when you see it.
In my world, the rules can change.
You don't need to charge your gun here, just spam on them. As soon as you get to this shop point, you basically move into the next phase. There's going to be a text game over here, but you have to choose one second, then the first, then the first, then the third options, and you'll be through.
I'm not going to be beaten by some noob you dragged into my world, Kensington.
Okay, we're back. Now let's take out Matt.
Now we're moving even further.
Why am I a toilet again?
But I didn't.
I think this is more fitting. Wouldn't you agree?
Give me some time, I'll fix it.
Hey, still have my cannon. You know who you're fucking with? Still wrong with the connection?
He's bombarding us with data.
In this part, there's a connection problem, so just try to stand still and nothing would happen to you. The tank section, just wait for the tank to go to the upper left corner. Or try to catch him into one of those exits. Yes, in this corner you just and you just make him stuck and you just shoot him until he dies. And you make a spin of victory. Now, moving to the next area.
Kinsey? I see it. I enjoy kicking that kid's ass. I see one more wall ahead.
It's his internet security protocols. They're blocking access into the main.
Yeah, whatever you say. That was easy. Miller doesn't know when to quit.
Take this out and we'll open that.
The spawns here are completely random, so you just have to survive on your own. Sometimes they spawn on the left, sometimes they spawn on the right.
Boy, you modeled this shit off of Nightblade?
It's an allegory for man's inhumanity to man.
No, it's a shitty vampire show.
I don't expect a chucklebutt like you to appreciate the right.
The game gets glitched here, but you just press the enter button.
Okay, don't panic. We can work this out.
You're not really good at comforting people, are you?
And now we're basically moving to the last stage.
Scared. Go to the cathedral and finish him off.
You mean where those giant tubes are feeding into? That can't be a trap or anything.
Must be his direct feed into the world. Well, as information flows through. Yeah, that's definitely a trap.
Again with the comforting skills.
Skipping this cutscene, and now we have to fight this huge avatar.
We'll see about that.
Alright, just don't die until I figure out how to copy an avatar. Don't worry, he's not bigger. You're just smaller.
Oh shit!
There's some quick time events. And now you have to make sure to spam your mouse button here to rip out his wings.
Your controls are backwards. Careful where you're going.
You shoot them until you get another quick time event. And just keep shooting him. And now you're turned into avatar yourself. Here you just wait for the mobs to spawn. Now you killed all of those NPCs. I think there's like 120 of them.
Medium range fire breath and quick dash to evade hits.
Let's test this. I always win.
You need to just kill all of those spawns here. Be sure not to leave one of the guys behind. Yeah, there's like 120 of them. And now just spam Miller.
You're on even ground now. Should be a piece of cake.
That's a real help, Kinsey.
Use dash if he gets too close. basically getting stuck him next to a wall is the best thing you can do. And now there's an important quick time event here. You slam the first, you skip the second, so the cutscene is actually faster by like 10 seconds. So your character just jumps on Miller. If you actually don't skip it, there's an animation of him swinging his sword and only then rolling back. And then just slice Miller. It doesn't matter what you choose here.
One door leads to a weapons manufacturer.
I really wish.
And that's Act 2 and 3 done.
Shawnee, what's up?
Oh, nothing. After that whole thing with Burke, just missing Stillwater is all.
And Johnny.
Yeah. And Johnny.
Listen, we're doing this for him. You want that, right?
Hell yeah, he would. He must be pissed he's missing all this. Hold on a sec.
I tried to upgrade glitch here, as some people told me in the community, but I failed. So if you just can't do the upgrade glitch, just grab your car.
Pierce, think we got a problem.
Grab the phone call that is just a call, and then grab the call to Pierce, where you tell that Shawnee has been captured.
Sounded military.
And now we need to go to the image as design, which is like a plastic surgery place. This is probably the most moment where I lose all of my time, because I was supposed to take a fast car and I took a slow car. The old strat for this mission is save game and take a safe warp to other crib and grab helicopter. But turns out that was actually really slow and only works for co-op, realistically. So you actually have to just take a car and deal with it.
This is the worst idea you've ever had.
The upgrade glitch I tried to get my car for is
Okay, so we get to the carrier.
to upgrade my car so it has nitros, but unfortunately I didn't get it, so I have to deal with this.
What do you think? I look the part considering I want to stab your ass right now? Yeah, I'd say it works.
Don't talk to your commander that way.
I should slap that face right off you.
Try it and leave me on that boat.
This isn't giving me any confidence.
You sure you got his face right?
You know how often this guy gets on camera?
I'm just saying.
Yes, sure. Okay?
That's all I wanted.
Also, you really need to be careful here in this part. Do not hit any civilians, or specifically not hit any of the stag guys on the island. Otherwise, you just get a wanted level, and basically you're gonna fail the mission. You can use this fence to go through here and pick up the VTOL.
Computer security experts breathe.
Everyone is inside, so we can move to the boat.
This is a good look for you. You should keep the face when you're done with it.
Excuse me, to the air carrier.
Powerful and statuesque.
Complained about a costume, and now you want the boss to run around with Cyrus's face?
It was just a suggestion. Don't get all bent out of shape.
Make a change. Some experts in the field have speculated that recent cyber warfare initiatives
Gotta get you two cuffed. We're almost there. This is a horrible idea.
Just do it already.
Look, you may be cool with wearing handcuffs, but this motherfucker ain't down with that.
What's that supposed to mean?
Well, you know, you ran a prostitution ring.
So clearly I'm into kink. You carry a gun. Does that mean you like to be shot?
No?
So how about we stop being a judgmental man-child?
Okay.
These dialogues are great.
This way, sir.
Here you actually have to punch Kia to fail the mission, because later, when they're gonna be going up the stairs, there's gonna be no dialogue, but you have to finish the walk. And since right now I'm punching her to death, there's not gonna be animation of them going up the stairs, so it's gonna skip a little bit faster.
I'm sorry, Commander.
Sorry for what?
No, it sounded like you said good girl.
You're hearing things, soldier.
I'm sorry, sir.
No worries. We're cool.
Thank you, Commander. Sir, R&D has sent a prototype for a new vehicle. A jet-propelled cycle.
Oh, shit!
Sir?
I mean it better.
Be sure not to go too far from the Kia's body, otherwise the proximity meter will fail you. Choose any random two things, skip this cutscene, and now just move through the soldiers. Ignore everyone shooting at you. You gotta really conserve your ammo on this part because you haven't been in a gun store for a long time. Activate the doors. Let Pierce out. Go up the stairs over here. And then let Viola out. And now Shaunti. Jump down here and go back the way you came. Otherwise you're gonna have to fight even more guys, and there's gonna be a flashbang that teases you. Shoot through the door here, since there are some spawns behind that door. You really want to wait for some of those guys because they can just get stuck and it will actually fail you. I'm getting really nervous here because I thought that this is over, I'm just gonna fail this, but I make it in time. Oh yeah, explosions can just mess you up. go to the furthest right VTOL, since all of those others are exploding. Go into the heliport, request VTOL, and go to the air stillport mission. Here we need to get to the airport.
Kenzie, there been any chatter from Stag?
An air convoy is flying into Steelport.
And once again, a flying port.
I'll meet her jet.
Careful and land here. Skip another cutscene. And now we're stuck on the plane, so we need to find the super weapon. Skip all of those traits and go straight to this one. All others are empty, but this one is always has the gun.
A little busy here. Found this strange piece of tech. Might be able to blast through the door with it.
Then use it so we can land these things already.
Blast the door.
Try to actually stay in the plane for once.
Oh, ha ha.
And blast the other door.
Oh god, what did you do?
Cockpit's gone. Going to plan B.
Gone? What do you mean gone?
Whoa. This thing clears a nice path.
Unfortunately here I kind of fell down. And also you can't skip all of those stun animations, even though if you try. Like here I'm getting a roll, but it still locks me in an animation.
Oh god. Can handle anyone. Seemed like a good idea.
If you're really good with the cannon aiming, you can just shoot the guys with the cannon. The explosion radius will take care of some of them around it. But it's really impossible to hit the cannon consistently, so I just have to switch to the machine gun. For tanks you can use both the cannon and the machine gun. You can kill the last plane because it's supposed to crash into you. Another set of guards. Another plane crashing into us, and then you have to shoot those two planes. One of them is scripted not to die, so it can crash at you once again.
Looks like I'm stealing a plane after all. Gotta get the hell out of here.
Try not to hit any of the stuff while skydiving here. Oh, I also forgot to mention, during this loading screen, there's a cutscene, and you can skip it while into a loading screen, and it's like really fast to completely skip a cutscene. The way with loading screen, it's really inconsistent in this game. Next mission is the zombie attack. We're going to the heliport, and instead of grabbing the VTOL, we're gonna grab the oppressor, which is just a usual helicopter. And start zombie attack.
Viola, thanks for...
Make sure you aren't late.
Excuse me?
To meet the mayor?
Hold it, what's going on?
The mayor needs our help.
Why would we help him? And who cares about...
The mayor is one of the most powerful men in Steelport. Don't just dismiss him.
And we should just jump when he says?
If it'll get us on his good side, yes.
I'm trusting you on this, Viola.
You should.
Maybe I should have thought this through.
It's too late now.
Get back into the helicopter, and this is a really fun mission in the speedrun, because you're supposed to do it on foot, but with using the helicopter, it's like a really easy mission now.
But for killing these zombies, what's the plan for that?
I'm not picky, as long as they stop moving.
And we're gonna do an important setup here. We're not going to trigger the checkpoint at the bridge. Instead, we're gonna go across the bridge into the island and land over here. And then you just jump into the water and swim to the shore. As soon as you see the 45 meters, you're gonna hit the warp to shore button. And then you can actually trigger the checkpoint. Instead of going, because of you have limited air, your stamina is really like limited. So you can't sprint for too long, so I advise to take in a car here. Oh yeah, sometimes zombies can do that and just stun you in this animation. First container down, now we can get into our helicopter that we saved earlier. Try to carefully land on this trash bin to careful the checkpoint, and now you can just land near Viola and kill those zombies. And I think this is the part that mostly kills my time. I get stun locked. Then I catch fire. Then there's Brood on me. And I still catch fire. So yeah, you really need to kill the firing zombies if they're nearby. It's really scary. heli. Now move to the car workshop. Some really freaky stuff going on here. And now you just need to defend Viola for some time.
That worked. Can we hurry this up?
Still looking.
Look faster.
This isn't right.
Any day now. These bodies are looking tasty. All right, get it fixed.
Oh, just relax.
After fixing your gas mask, you need to go back to the heli.
Damn it! I keep getting pieces of these things on me.
I'm gonna need a shower after all this.
I did a really bad landing over here because it's too far from the gate.
Seen one zombie, you've seen them all.
Like you've ever dealt with a zombie before.
Actually, I had this friend of his named Lynn.
What?
Never mind.
And push down the last container into water. And now we can get back into our heli. And I keep getting stun locked here.
Couple more containers to go, Mayor. Good. You get this done and you can count on the Steelport municipality to back the safe. SWAT teams, favors from the police chief, a little help from me personally, whatever you need, you'll get. Mayor Reynolds, I'll let you know when it's done.
Unfortunately here I get stuck on some chimneys.
I think we could utilize this virus to fight our enemies. All we need is a sample before you destroy it all. Oh, look, I am not making a shitty problem worse by letting it out. I'm saying Saints could create zombies to fight with us, overwhelming our enemies with the tide of flesh. Yeah, okay, that's fucking cool.
Wait, are you going to...
Yep, hold on.
The best option here is to destroy the truck with the virus.
I'll run with you.
Call our car, get the mission marker, so the homie disappears again from the car.
I was thinking the same thing. Come to the Broken Shillelagh. We can all talk there.
We're gonna make a slight detour from here. Instead of going right to the cutscene, we're going to visit the gun store to fill up on ammo. You also need ammo for this and the last mission. No, wait, you need ammo for the next mission and then the last mission. So that's the only place where you need the pistol ammo and some rocket ammo. You don't need to get out of the car, just go straight into cutscene on the car.
The RC gun. You'll need it to take control of the luchador's vehicles.
Why not just shoot him?
And now just Angel will just fly us to the target that we're supposed to capture with the RC gun.
coming soon at Murder Ball 31.
Right you are, Zach, and who better to announce the official lineup than the champion himself, Kilbane?
Oh, you know, opponents have been arriving from all over to face their fears and meet the architect of their demise.
So stay tuned as the press conference will be coming to you live from the 3-Count Casino within the hour.
I can't wait.
Now we're gonna grab the first car.
So running over a bunch of people is probably his hobby.
Actually, he's pretty laid back.
Fine, roid rage then. Work with me here, Angel.
Let's get to the press conference. Hey, what's wrong with this?
We need to hit some of those NPCs to frame this wrestler for being a criminal, because this is how it works.
This damn thing's possessed.
You really need to be careful here on the edges of the cars and the buildings, because you basically have an input lag specifically for this mission, because you're RC controlling it from the air, and any bump will just make you really like get stuck. Also, yeah, this is a really fun part when you're trying to hit the gas station. Sometimes it just won't trigger. After you hit the checkpoint, you restart from the checkpoint.
This thing's pretty fun.
Take this boat, the furthest one, because it's faced towards the beach.
Boats, dangerous things.
And there's another checkpoint, and we can again start from the checkpoint.
With zombies devouring our neighbors' brains and Stag seemingly powerless to stop them,
And now we grab a helicopter.
You're gonna lose a signal.
Be careful not to lose the signal here.
Did he just jump?
And ram into the helicopter.
knowing our brain.
Oh, that's done.
And another checkpoint restart, and this is the last one. Oh man. Grab the tank on north. And just spam him with the cannon and the machine gun. So you can one cycle him. And that's a one cycle.
Ladies and
That's mission done. Next mission starts right over here.
So what's the plan?
And now we just need to destroy the casino by blowing up those slot machines with rocket launcher. Unfortunately here I get a soft luck that actually the bar goes too far from the progress, and I was really confused about it, so I just had to restart. That is some time loss from here.
So what's the
That is a really weird thing that ever happened to me in this game. Wonder how it actually is triggered. Grab the manager.
what are you doing in my casino? Where is Kilbane keeping
Gotta be in the vault, behind the tower cages. If you knew he kept your mask, why didn't you look for it earlier?
You broke my spirit. I didn't think I was worthy.
Get to the vault to get to the mask.
Here it is.
How we get our asses out of here?
Not yet. It's time to send Killbane a message. Start with those statues.
Fine. Let's tear this place up.
Unfortunately, you can't wallbang those statues for some reason, so you actually have to go and meet them in person, to say that. Here I kinda get stun locked and then get stunned on a brute. Double brute with one rocket. And just wallbang the last guys. The next mission starts at your place once again.
Time to get to work. All right, here we go. And here's the Butcher of Stillwater, swaggering.
Now we have to protect the angel while he fights with the Killbane. So we need to kill the luchadors.
Getting some help from the fans. This has just turned into a lumberjack match from hell.
Pick up a weapon while we're running.
This is a classic matchup. Speed versus power, youth versus age, brains versus brawn.
Well, you know, the fact that these two are tag team partners really adds another layer to the whole dimension. They train together. They know what to expect. One wrong move can end the entire match, and you gotta wonder if Angel is going to be able to keep his cool.
Just keep protecting Angel until you find the cutscene. I mean, go to the cutscene. And now just protect Angel by chainsawing everyone.
Fatal flaw in the luchador's plan, Bobby. They didn't account for the murder crawl chainsaw.
It was a desperate move for a desperate time, but it looks like the gamble has paid off.
Now this is what people came here to see. The Butcher of Stillwater on an unstoppable rampage.
Killbane can't be happy to see this.
Oh my goodness, look at the blood fly.
I could have had it be anything. It's gotta be getting slick on that floor.
Hey, I gotta get my grandma to get the mop.
Can you fight?
I think I broke my leg. Get in there and kick that bastard's ass. I can hold off these jobbers.
Well, it looks like people are gonna see the fight they paid for as the Butcher of Stillwater stands toe-to-toe with Killbane.
Now, this is classic Saints tactics. Use someone to weaken up the opponent that's swooping.
As soon as you get on the ring, you hit the checkpoint, so restart from the checkpoint. This helps with two things. First, you skip Killbane's dialogue. Second, you can avoid a possible soft lock here,
Does it get any better than this?
where Killbane just gets stuck inside the ring, like in the floor or outside of the ring, and you can't do anything.
Look at the brutality from the Butcher.
I think you'd have to be naive to believe a giant like Killbane hasn't thrown in a few punches here and there outside the ropes, Bobby.
Not like the punches being thrown in here tonight, Zach. Both of our contenders seem to be out for blood. Killbane isn't bowing down to the Butcher anytime soon.
But this celebrity of the streets isn't making
Keep mashing the quick time events.
seems to be something more going on than two world-renowned. Oh my God! And Killbane goes sailing out of the ring.
But wait!
Stillwater Butcher isn't getting a moment's rest tonight.
You can't punch Killbane while you don't have a weapon. You just get stuck in an animation where Killbane just like, yo, I don't care for your punches. But he does care for a doll healing him. Another quick time event.
That sound will stick with you. Go, Rose.
There he goes.
Unbelievable.
All's fair in love and murder, bro.
And Killbane is out of the ring again.
And here come the
Now we need to protect ourselves from the luchadors.
Brawl is certainly giving the finest in blood-gushing, bone-mashing entertainment tonight, Bobby.
My heart goes out for the cleanup crew on this one, Zach.
That's gotta hurt to get hit with.
Give it up while you can still walk. You won't even realize how insane. And here comes the kill spot.
Unbelievable. Another reversal.
Another quick time event.
Killbane just can't connect with the kill switch.
Keep mashing the quick time event. And here comes the final quick time event.
That's as brutal as it can get right there, Bobby.
Oh, you better believe it.
Ready for your close-up?
It doesn't matter what you choose here, but we always go for the unmasking, which is press left. And here comes basically the last mission of the game, where you have to choose between two endings. We're gonna go for the non-canon ending because it's way faster than the canon one. Again, start the mission to skip the homie X in the car.
Pierce, you heard anything about what happened to Killbane?
Nope.
We need to know where he is.
Yep.
You're playing chess again, aren't you?
Yeah.
Damn it, Pierce.
Oh, hey, come to the crib. We got something important to talk about.
Ugh.
Getting to the Saints HQ. Moving backwards. Oh, some crash happened here. We move back to our crib,
I'll keep my ear on the police band. Let you know where things are really
and we're getting ourselves a VTOL, so we don't have to cruise through the city with all the gunfire. We don't need to worry about the Oleg. He will be just fine. Before we used to go to the northwest further, but turns out that crashes the game if you go too fast to it. But here we figured out that this is way faster, like just going to this checkpoint, and it also doesn't crash even if you go fast. So this was a really good optimization from our really good guy Martins. Just shoot everything until you spawn 2 brutes. As soon as the brutes are dead, you can move to the city center.
About time the crew showed up.
by killing the tank in city center, you can now move to the armory. I think the last important one is the tank. Yeah, the tank. Park the VTOL. Skip the cutscene, and now we can get back into a VTOL and go back for the kill bane. Destroy those guards real quick. Here we can actually make the Angel go really fast in the car if you're just spamming rockets behind his car. It doesn't do any damage, but really boosts his car speed. Here, as soon as we reach the Little Bane's plane, we can just shoot it down. And we are starting punching Killbane for all the things that he did. Next snap. And Killbane is done. But unfortunately Shaunti and Viola die. But this is non-canon ending for the future Saints Row games. And here comes the last mission. First thing we're gonna do, we're gonna save warp to our crib. We're gonna use the heliport and take ourselves a VTOL. This is the last mission, Stack Film, where Stack brings out really huge flying ship that we're gonna have to destroy. I'm really trying to park here really carefully because sometimes the VTOL can just despawn because of the car that they give you by script. You're supposed to go back to the Saints HQ and get yourself a really slow helicopter, but you can cheat by getting a VTOL, and you can move to the flying ship like right at the start. and also have much powerful weapons than just machine guns, since you have rockets and powerful laser.
I can't get into any of the systems on that airship. I'll keep trying, but no promises. Be careful.
Trying to land really carefully here. I'm gonna go plant a bomb here. I'm killing the guy with the rocket launcher because I thought that he's gonna shoot me and stun lock me and leave me with really low health. So just better safe than sorry.
Your tax dollars at work. When this is over, I'll steal the blueprints from the DoD. A few years, we can probably build our own.
The third bomb, and there's gonna be a last bomb down the stairs. The last bomb. And now we're just gonna have Cyrus as the boss VTOL. Instead of the boss helicopter, we're gonna have a boss VTOL, yes. This is what the games were like in 2011. Cyrus has up to 4 cycles, I think, because at certain points you can just achieve his health threshold. Here I'm just parking my Vito for a more appropriate position, so I can get it after I kill Cyrus. Be sure to destroy condors right away before they drop up soldiers, because they can just damage you and even sometimes kill you. For some reason, these soldiers here are really heavy damaging you. Like over here, they almost killed me. One more cycle and Cyrus is done. Cyrus is done, skipping this cutscene. And now we're just getting out of the ship. There's a really long loading here, and that's basically it. This is Saints Row the Third. 80% no DLCs, and I guess this is the end of my submission for marathon slash tutorial. And thanks for watching, and have a good day. Goodbye.